The intensity in WWE has just reached a breaking point, the kind of chaos that redefines rivalries and ignites fan speculation across the wrestling world. Seth Rollins, the self-proclaimed visionary, has declared an all-out war against Roman Reigns and his newly formed Shield Alliance, turning into a battlefield where vengeance, pride, and legacy will collide. In a declaration that sent the entire WWE Universe into shock, Rollins vowed to not just defeat Roman Reigns, but to dismantle everything he stands for, piece by piece, brick by brick. His words were not the desperate outcry of a defeated man, but rather the strategic promise of someone who has endured the storm, studied the enemy, and is now ready to strike back harder than ever before. The vision has shifted from defense to attack, and this counteroffensive could change the course of WWE's power balance forever. The path to this moment has been one of heartbreak, loss, and humiliation for Seth Rollins. In recent months, Roman Reigns and his so-called New Shield have unleashed devastation on every opponent that dared challenge them. Seth's revolution, once considered the creative heartbeat of WWE, appeared to falter under the relentless dominance of the Bloodline and their new formation. Every loss pushed the vision further into the shadows, leading many to question whether Rollins still had the fire that once made him one of WWE's most unpredictable and dangerous competitors. But what the world mistook for defeat was, in reality, a calculated retreat. Seth Rollins wasn't just fighting, he was learning. He was observing every movement, every weakness, every pattern in Roman's empire. And now, with crown jewel on the horizon, he's ready to unleash everything he's discovered. Standing under the blinding lights of the arena, microphone in hand and fire in his eyes, Rollins let the world know that this war is far from over. "You think you've broken us, Roman? You think your new shield has ended the vision?" Rollins shouted, his voice reverberating through the packed arena. "But you made one fatal mistake. You showed us your full power. And now we know exactly how to break you." Those words, simple yet chilling, struck like a lightning bolt across the WWE landscape. The audience erupted, sensing a massive shift in energy. Rollins wasn't defeated, he was reborn. In the shadows, a familiar figure stepped forward, Paul Heyman. Known throughout WWE history as one of the greatest strategists in the business, Heyman's cunning smile said it all. The same man who once built Roman Reigns into an unstoppable tribal chief was now seemingly aligning himself with the visionary. It's a betrayal wrapped in brilliance, and it might be exactly what Rollins needs to pull off the impossible. "The tribal chief believes he's untouchable," Heyman said, his tone dripping with calculated confidence. "But every empire has its weakness." For someone like Heyman, those words aren't just bravado. They're a promise. Few people understand Roman Reigns the way Heyman does, his tendencies, his fears, his pride, and his blind spots. If anyone can help Rollins turn the tide, it's him. Together, they represent a dangerous mix of intellect and chaos. Rollins, the unpredictable visionary, and Heyman, the cold, calculating mind who once fueled Roman's rise to dominance. As Rollins' speech continued, his passion rose to a crescendo. "At Crown Jewel," he roared, "we're not coming to compete. We're coming to dismantle your empire piece by piece. Your new shield will become your tombstone." The crowd exploded. Fans knew they were witnessing the rebirth of Seth Rollins, not as the desperate underdog, but as the mastermind of a revolution ready to expose every flaw in Roman's so-called reign. Rollins' message wasn't just about revenge. It was about transformation. The vision is no longer trying to match the Bloodline's strength blow for blow. Instead, Rollins is shifting his focus to strategy, patience, and psychological warfare. He's no longer fighting Roman Reigns the wrestler, he's targeting Roman Reigns the empire. This is chess, not checkers, and Rollins just announced his first move. What makes this turn of events even more fascinating is the strategic evolution of Rollins' character. In the past, he relied heavily on his athleticism, agility, and high-risk offense. Now, he's embracing something darker, more methodical. Every loss to Roman's new shield wasn't a setback, it was data. Every defeat gave him more insight into how Roman operates. And now, With Heyman by his side, those lessons have turned into a playbook for destruction. WWE fans can feel that this isn't just another rivalry, it's the next great saga in the company's ongoing mythology. Seth Rollins' vow of vengeance represents something much larger than personal pride. It's about dismantling the illusion of Roman Reigns' invincibility. The new Shield might look dominant on the surface, but Heyman's quiet involvement suggests deep fractures beneath the armor. The cracks are there, and Rollins intends to hammer at them until the entire empire falls apart. This evolving storyline blurs the line between revenge and revolution. Rollins has never been one to follow anyone's rules. His transformation from the architect to the visionary has always been about control, creating, destroying, and rebuilding the system in his image. And now, with the vision under siege, he's ready to redefine what power means in WWE once again. Fans online are already buzzing with speculation. Can Rollins truly outthink and outfight Roman Reigns? Will Heyman's knowledge of Roman's playbook be enough to turn the tide? Or is Heyman playing a double game, feeding information to both sides for his own gain? In WWE, betrayal is as common as the roar of the crowd, and Heyman has built a career out of deception. Yet the chemistry between him and Rollins feels different. Dangerous, yes, but driven by a shared purpose. Both men were once loyal to Roman. Both were betrayed or discarded when they were no longer useful. And both now have every reason to see his empire burn. The next few weeks leading up to Crown Jewel promise to be filled with chaos, mind games, and shocking twists. Rollins has hinted that his counterattack won't come in the ring alone. It'll happen in the mind. Expect psychological warfare, surprise alliances, and maybe even betrayals within the new Shield itself. Roman's House of Dominance could soon become a house of cards. This war has gone far beyond personal rivalry. It's now about legacy and leadership. Roman Reigns believes himself to be the tribal chief, the final word in WWE's hierarchy. Seth Rollins is daring to challenge that, not by shouting louder, but by thinking smarter. He's proving that creativity, vision, and intellect can be as deadly as brute force. The Vision's revolution isn't just about taking power, it's about redefining what power looks like. The WWE Universe can feel that something massive is coming. Crown Jewel isn't shaping up to be just another pay-per-view, it's becoming the stage for a generational collision. On one side stands Roman Reigns, the embodiment of dominance, control, and fear. On the other, Seth Rollins, the visionary rebel, the master manipulator who thrives in chaos. The stakes have never been higher, and neither man can afford to lose. This is no longer about who's stronger or faster. It's about who's smarter. It's about who can adapt, outthink, and outlast. It's about who's willing to go further to secure their legacy. And as Rollins made clear,